Welcome to the Daily Five, your source for the most talked about stories from around the globe. Today, we're diving into five major developments capturing the world's attention. First, we'll examine the ongoing debates surrounding artificial intelligence regulations. Then, we'll explore the latest advancements in renewable energy technologies. Next, we'll analyze the geopolitical implications of the upcoming elections in Taiwan. Following that, we'll discuss the growing concerns about cybersecurity threats targeting critical infrastructure. Finally, we'll cover the recent breakthroughs in medical research for Alzheimer's disease. Let's get started.
1.
The debate surrounding artificial intelligence regulation has reached a fever pitch, with governments, tech companies, and advocacy groups all vying for influence. The core question revolves around how to foster innovation while mitigating the potential risks associated with increasingly powerful AI systems. In the United States, the Biden administration has issued an executive order aimed at promoting responsible AI development, focusing on areas such as algorithmic bias, data privacy, and cybersecurity. Order directs federal agencies to establish guidelines and standards for AI use, particularly in high-risk applications like healthcare and finance. However, some critics argue that the order doesn't go far enough, calling for more stringent regulations and independent oversight. In Europe, European Union is taking a more aggressive approach with its proposed Artificial Intelligence Act. This legislation would establish a comprehensive legal framework for AI, categorizing AI systems based on their risk level and imposing strict requirements on high-risk applications. The act would also prohibit certain AI practices deemed unacceptable, such as real-time biometric identification in public spaces and AI systems that manipulate human behavior. The European Union's approach has been praised by some as a necessary step to protect fundamental rights and prevent the misuse of AI. However, others worry that the act could stifle innovation and put European companies at a disadvantage compared to their competitors in other regions. China is also actively pursuing AI regulation, but its approach is distinct from that of the United States and Europe. China's regulatory framework emphasizes national security and social stability, with a focus on controlling the flow of data and preventing the use of AI for subversive purposes. The Chinese government has implemented rules requiring AI companies to obtain approval before releasing new AI products and services, and it has also issued guidelines on ethical AI development. The global debate over AI regulation is further complicated by the rapid pace of technological change. AI is evolving at an unprecedented rate, making it difficult for regulators to keep up. Many experts believe that a flexible and adaptive regulatory framework needed, one that can be adjusted as the economic implications of AI regulation are also a major concern. Some studies suggest that overly strict regulations could stifle innovation and slow economic growth. Others argue that responsible AI development is essential for long-term economic prosperity, as it can help to build trust in AI systems and prevent potential harms. As the debate over AI regulation continues, it is clear that there is no easy solution. Finding the right balance between fostering innovation and mitigating risks will require careful consideration and international cooperation. The future of AI depends on it.
2.
The renewable energy sector is experiencing a period of rapid innovation, with breakthroughs occurring in solar, wind, energy storage, and other technologies. These advancements are driving down the cost of renewable energy, making it increasingly competitive with fossil fuels and accelerating the transition to a cleaner energy future. In the solar energy sector, researchers are developing new materials and designs that can significantly improve the efficiency of solar panels. Perovskite solar cells, for example, are showing great promise as a low-cost and high-efficiency alternative to traditional silicon-based solar cells. Scientists are also working on developing flexible, transparent solar cells that can be integrated into buildings and other structures, turning them into energy generating surfaces. Wind energy is also undergoing significant advancements. Taller and more powerful wind turbines are being developed, capable of capturing more energy from the wind. Offshore wind farms are also becoming increasingly popular as they can harness stronger and more consistent winds than onshore wind farms. Floating wind turbines are also being developed, which can be deployed in deeper waters and open up new areas for wind energy development. Energy storage is a critical component of the renewable energy transition, as it allows for the storage of excess energy generated by solar and wind power plants for use when the sun isn't shining or the wind isn't blowing. Lithium-ion batteries are currently the dominant energy storage technology, but researchers are exploring other alternatives such as flow batteries, solid-state batteries, and hydrogen storage. Flow batteries are particularly promising for large-scale energy storage as they can be scaled up to store vast amounts of energy. Solid batteries offer higher energy density and improved safety compared to lithium-ion batteries. Hydrogen storage is another promising option, as hydrogen can be produced from renewable energy sources and stored for later use in fuel cells or other applications. Beyond solar, wind, and energy storage, other renewable energy technologies are also being developed. Geothermal energy, which harnesses the heat from the Earth's interior, is a reliable and sustainable energy source. Hydropower, which uses the energy of flowing water to generate electricity, is a well-established renewable energy technology. Biomass energy, which uses organic matter to produce heat and electricity, can also play a role in the renewable energy transition. The advancements in renewable energy technologies are not only making renewable energy more affordable and reliable, but they are also creating new jobs and economic opportunities. The renewable energy sector is one of the fastest growing sectors in the world, and it is expected to continue to grow rapidly in the coming years as renewable energy technologies continue to improve and become more cost competitive. They will play an increasingly important role in meeting the world's energy needs and reducing greenhouse gas emissions.
3,
The upcoming elections in Taiwan are generating significant geopolitical tensions, as the outcome will have profound implications for cross-strait relations and the broader regional balance of power. Taiwan, officially known as the Republic of China, is a self-governing island that China considers to be a renegade province. The relationship between Taiwan and China has been strained for decades, with China asserting its claim over the island and threatening to use force to achieve reunification if necessary. The elections in Taiwan are closely watched by China, the United States, and other countries in the region, as they could shift the trajectory of cross-strait relations. The main political parties in Taiwan have different views on how to approach relations with China. The Democratic Progressive Party, currently in power, advocates for maintaining Taiwan's de facto independence and strengthening its ties with the United States and other democracies. The Kuomintang, the main opposition party, favors closer economic and cultural ties with China, while maintaining Taiwan's autonomy. The outcome of the elections will determine which party will lead Taiwan for the next 4 years and shape its policy towards China. China has been increasing its military and economic pressure on Taiwan in recent years, seeking to deter the island from pursuing independence. China has conducted military exercises near Taiwan, flown warplanes into Taiwan's air defense identification zone, and imposed economic sanctions on Taiwanese businesses. The United States has been strengthening its support for Taiwan, providing the island with military assistance and increasing its diplomatic engagement. The United States maintains a policy of strategic ambiguity, meaning that it does not explicitly commit to defending Taiwan if it is attacked by China, but it also does not rule out the possibility the elections in Taiwan, taking place against a backdrop of rising tensions in the Indo-Pacific region, China's growing military power, and assertive foreign policy, have raised concerns among its neighbors and the United States. The United States is seeking to counter China's influence by strengthening its alliances and partnerships in the region. The elections in Taiwan are a critical test of Taiwan's democracy and its ability to resist pressure from China. The outcome of the elections will have far-reaching consequences for the region and the world. A victory for the Democratic Progressive Party could lead to further deterioration in cross-strait relations, while a victory for the Kuomintang could lead to a thaw in relations. Regardless of the outcome, the elections in Taiwan will continue to be a major source of geopolitical tension in the years to come. The international community will be closely watching how the situation unfolds and seeking to maintain peace and stability in the region.
4.
Cybersecurity threats are becoming increasingly sophisticated and pervasive, posing a significant risk to critical infrastructure around the world, from power grids and water treatment plants to hospitals and transportation systems. Essential services are vulnerable to cyber attacks that could disrupt operations, compromise data, and even endanger lives. The rise in cybersecurity threats is driven by a number of factors, including the increasing reliance on digital technologies, the growing sophistication of cybercriminals, and the proliferation of connected devices. Cybercriminals are constantly developing new and innovative ways to exploit vulnerabilities in computer systems and networks. They use a variety of techniques, including malware, phishing, and ransomware, to gain access to sensitive information and disrupt operations. State actors are also increasingly involved in cyber attacks, using them to steal intellectual property, conduct espionage, and disrupt critical infrastructure. Critical infrastructure is a particularly attractive target for cybercriminals because it is essential to the functioning of society. Attacks on critical infrastructure can have devastating consequences, disrupting essential services, causing economic damage, and even endangering lives. In recent years, there have been a number of high-profile cyber attacks on critical infrastructure, including attacks on power grids, water treatment plants, and hospitals. These attacks have demonstrated the vulnerability of critical infrastructure and the potential for serious harm. Governments and organizations are taking steps to protect critical infrastructure from cyber attacks. These steps include implementing stronger security measures, conducting regular security audits, and training employees on cybersecurity best practices. They are also working to share information about cyber threats and collaborate on cybersecurity initiatives, however. Complex and ongoing challenge. Cybercriminals are constantly developing new and innovative ways to exploit vulnerabilities, and governments and organizations must stay one step ahead. The cybersecurity landscape is constantly evolving, and governments and organizations must adapt their security measures to keep pace. They must also work to raise awareness of cybersecurity threats and educate public on how to protect themselves. Cybersecurity is a shared responsibility, and everyone has a role to play in protecting critical infrastructure. Cyber attacks. By working together, governments, organizations, and individuals can help to create a more secure and resilient cyberspace. The future of critical infrastructure depends on it.
5.
Recent breakthroughs in medical research are offering a glimmer of hope in the fight against Alzheimer's disease, a debilitating neurodegenerative disorder that affects millions of people worldwide. Scientists are making significant progress in understanding the underlying causes of Alzheimer's and developing potential therapies to slow down or even prevent the disease. One of the most promising areas of research is focused on the role of amyloid plaques and tau tangles in the development of Alzheimer's. Amyloid plaques are abnormal clumps of protein that accumulate in the brain, while tau tangles are twisted fibers of protein that form inside brain cells. Both amyloid plaques and tau tangles are thought to disrupt brain function, contribute to the cognitive decline associated with Alzheimer's. Researchers developing drugs that can target amyloid plaques and tau tangles, either by preventing their formation or by removing them from the brain. Several of these drugs are currently in clinical trials, and early results have been encouraging. Another area of research is focused on the role of inflammation in Alzheimer's disease. Inflammation is the body's natural response to injury or infection, but chronic inflammation in the brain can damage brain cells and contribute to the development of Alzheimer's. Researchers are developing drugs that can reduce inflammation in the brain, which may help to slow down the progression of Alzheimer's. In addition to drug development, researchers are also exploring other potential therapies for Alzheimer's, such as lifestyle interventions. Studies have shown that a healthy diet, and cognitive stimulation can help to reduce the risk of Alzheimer's and slow down its progression. Researchers are also investigating the potential of gene therapy to treat Alzheimer's. Gene therapy involves introducing new genes into the brain to replace or repair damaged genes. This approach is still in its early stages, but it holds promise for treating a variety of neurological disorders, including Alzheimer's. The breakthroughs in Alzheimer's research are not only offering hope for treating the disease, but they are also improving our understanding of the brain and how it works. This knowledge could lead to new treatments for other neurological disorders. Well, parfois, there is still much work to be done. The recent progress in Alzheimer's research is a reason for optimism. With continued research and investment, scientists are confident that they will eventually find a cure for this devastating disease. Thank you for joining us on the Daily 5. We hope you found these stories informative and insightful. Be sure to subscribe to our channel for more updates on the top news stories from around the world.